Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thylacine Studios podcast. In this episode, I want to talk about the roadmap for Siralim Ultimate's development and how all the different release stages will work. I also want to give you a glimpse of what to expect with the alpha version of the game. As you probably know by now, we will release the game to our alpha backers on August 10th. By the way, it's still not too late to buy alpha access to the game, so if you're interested, check out the PayPal shop on our website at thylacine Alpha will take place on Steam only and will start out only available on Windows for the first few weeks. Later on, after the game is a bit more stable, I'll release it for Mac and Linux as well. I can't give you a definite time for when you'll receive your key. I need to send them to everyone manually. Kickstarter doesn't really have a way for me to just send them out to everyone at once, so that makes it difficult to predict when you'll get to play exactly. I'll start sending the keys out at around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on August 10th, and I'm hoping it won't take longer than a couple hours to send them out to everyone. If you purchased Alpha Access via our PayPal shop, you'll receive the key at the same email address you used to make your purchase, and if you're a Kickstarter backer, you'll receive your key through their messaging system on their website. As for what you should expect in Alpha, a lot of bugs and crashes, of course, but I will be aggressively patching the game during the first few weeks or so to make sure that you don't hit some horrible roadblock that will prevent you from playing. The full focus of Alpha, especially during the first couple weeks, will be on bug and crash fixes. I won't be adding any new content or making balance adjustments during this time. In fact, I probably won't add any new content at all during Alpha. I don't know how long Alpha will last because it all depends on how smoothly things go and how many issues come up during this time. Content-wise, Alpha includes all the main story quests, along with a healthy amount of endgame content, including prophecies, god relics, projects, netherstones, and more. All 15 of the original specializations that I announced are fully implemented as well. You're not going to run out of content during the alpha. In fact, there's already more content in Siralim Ultimate than there was in Siralim 3. And don't forget about Fusion. I can guarantee you guys are going to spend hours upon hours looking at all the different combinations of creatures you can make. I know I've wasted a long time on that myself. One thing the alpha probably won't include, at least not at the start, is a tutorial system. In Siralim 3, there were a bunch of pop-ups that would explain game mechanics to you as you unlock them, and those are not implemented yet in Siralim Ultimate. There isn't a library system yet either. I know that's not ideal, but I don't think any of the game's mechanics are that incredibly complex that you won't be able to figure anything out, so I'm not really worried about that. Once the game is stable, we will move toward the beta phase. Your alpha keys will still work during beta, and I'll send out keys to all the beta backers during this time as well. During beta, I'll focus on quality of life improvements, balance adjustments, and I'll add a little bit of content as well. The goal of beta is to make the game feel good to play. This phase will be all about polish. I might add a few new pieces of content as well, such as new specializations, but most of the major things will happen later on. A few weeks before beta ends, I'll send out surveys to backers who purchased the right to work with us to design custom content, like creatures, costumes, spells, and things like that. You'll have plenty of time, at least a few weeks, to submit your answers, and by this point you'll have been able to play the game for at least a couple months, so you should have a pretty good idea about what you want me to add to the game by then. Most content will have a deadline for your submissions, but some of the larger scale pieces of content, such as specializations and custom realms, will be a little bit more flexible with the deadline, since that will require a lot more back and forth communication with me. Next, we will enter Early Access. Again, this is only on Steam for Windows, Mac, and Linux. During this time, we'll have a lot of new players trying out the game, many of whom have never played a Siralim game before, so it'll be interesting to get a fresh perspective on the gameplay. I'll continue adding new content during this time. My hope is that all the promised backer content and stretch goals will be implemented during Early Access, aside from a few features. I know the roguelike mode won't happen during Early Access, that'll come after launch, but I'm pretty sure everything else will be added in Early Access. After the game leaves Early Access, I'll start working on the roguelike mode, the mobile ports, and finally I will work on the console ports. I have absolutely no idea when any of those things will be finished, and it's impossible to even guess a quarter in 2021 right now, but I'll keep you updated. I do know that it will happen in 2021, though. I have no plans to push it to 2022 or beyond. I also wanted to make a quick note because a lot of you have been concerned about this. At no point during development do I plan to wipe your save files. There might be a bug or crash or something that wipes them out, but that's the only way you'll lose your progress. I'm really excited for you all to finally test out the game. I've been playing through the story quests lately to make sure there aren't any massive bugs or crashes, and I'm really happy with how the game feels already. During these final few weeks prior to our alpha launch, I probably won't release any more podcast episodes so that I can dedicate all my time toward the release. After the alpha is stabilized, though, you'll definitely hear from me again. In the meantime, keep an eye on our Twitter, Facebook, subreddit, Discord, website, or forums for updates. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.